Have you ever felt exhausted from explaining yourself to people who never truly listen? Have you noticed that the more you chase, the smaller you feel? And the more you beg to be understood, the less respect you receive. We live in a world where people are taught to over-explain, over-justify, and over-prove their worth. We send long messages, repeat our intentions, and try desperately to be seen correctly. Yet somehow, the harder we try, the more invisible we become. Here is the brutal truth most people never accept. The more you explain yourself, the less powerful you appear. Stoic philosophy understood this long before social media, relationships, and modern ego games existed. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that peace begins the moment you stop surrendering your inner authority to external opinions. A Stoic does not chase approval. A Stoic does not beg for attention. A Stoic does not explain what needs no defense. Silence is not weakness. Silence is discipline. Silence is power. In this video, you will discover why silence becomes your greatest superpower and how reclaiming it will change the way people treat you and the way you see yourself forever. Part 1. Silence makes them feel your absence. The moment someone pulls away, ignores you, or treats you as optional, a quiet panic often rises inside. Your mind races. You replay conversations. You feel the urge to send another message, to clarify, to explain, to fix the tension. This impulse feels natural, even logical. But beneath it lies a deeper fear, the fear of being forgotten, replaced, or unimportant. Modern society teaches you that presence equals value. If you disappear, you lose relevance. If you stop speaking, you lose control. Yet Stoic wisdom reveals a brutal paradox. The more you chase, the more power you hand away. When you rush to fill silence, you signal that your emotional stability depends on another person's response. Silence, when chosen consciously, does something radical. It removes your energy from the interaction. And when your energy leaves, absence is felt. Not immediately, not dramatically, but deeply. People notice not your words, but the sudden lack of access to you. The attention they once received freely now has weight, distance, and consequence. Think of how often respect fades when availability is unlimited. When you answer instantly, explain endlessly, and stay emotionally accessible no matter how you are treated, you become predictable. Predictability breeds complacency. Silence interrupts that pattern. It creates a psychological pause where the other person is forced to reflect instead of consume. This is not about manipulation. It is about self-respect. A Stoic understands that dignity begins where desperation ends. You do not need to announce your withdrawal. You do not need to justify your space. Silence itself becomes the boundary, and boundaries teach people how to treat you. There is also a quieter transformation happening inside you. When you stop reaching out, you reclaim mental clarity. The noise fades. The compulsive checking stops. You begin to feel your own center again. In that stillness, you remember that your worth was never created by someone else's attention. A simple practice makes this real. The next time you feel the urge to chase, pause for 72 hours. Do nothing. No messages, no explanations, no emotional labor. Use that time to observe your body, your thoughts, and the discomfort that arises. That discomfort is not dangerous. It is withdrawal from dependency. Often, something surprising happens. Either the other person reaches out, now aware of your absence, or they do not. In both cases, you win. If they return, it is with awareness. If they do not, the truth is revealed without further self-betrayal. Silence teaches louder than words ever could. It teaches others that your presence is earned. And it teaches you that you are whole long before anyone noticed. This is why Stoic silence is never passive. It is an active choice to step back into your own life. When you stop chasing, you stop shrinking. You stand still, grounded and unmovable, allowing reality to reveal itself without interference or self-abandonment. Your absence becomes the mirror others cannot ignore anymore. Part 2. Silence helps you hear the truth. Silence does not only change how others respond to you, it changes what you hear inside yourself. When the noise of explaining stops, something uncomfortable appears. Your own thoughts, your own patterns, your own role in what you tolerated. This moment feels empty, but it is honest and deeply revealing. Most people fear this silence because it removes distraction. Without another person to react to, you confront unanswered questions. Why did I accept less? Why did I stay? Why did I abandon my intuition? Silence exposes truth without cruelty, yet many escape it through constant conversation and seeking reassurance externally. Stoic philosophy teaches that clarity begins when dependence ends. Epictetus warned that suffering comes not from events, but from our judgments about them. When you stop speaking, you stop feeding stories. You begin observing instead of justifying. In that observation, false hope dissolves and emotional honesty finally emerges within you. Silence becomes a mirror. It reflects patterns you ignored while chasing connection. You see how often you overgave, over-explained, and waited for validation. This awareness can hurt, but pain here is productive. It does not break you. It sharpens you by restoring self-respect and inner authority fully. This is why Stoics never rush toward closure. Closure is not something another person hands you. It is a decision you make when you stop negotiating your worth. In silence, you realize you were never confused. You were simply hoping someone else would validate what you already knew internally. When silence deepens, your nervous system settles. You stop scanning for replies. You stop rehearsing explanations. Space opens between stimulus and response. In that space, freedom lives. You discover that peace does not arrive through understanding others, but through understanding yourself without negotiation, performance, or emotional bargaining pressure, attachment, dependency. This silence is not emptiness. It is alignment. Your thoughts slow down and become clearer. You begin asking better questions. What do I tolerate? What do I value? What am I avoiding? These questions feel heavy, yet they guide you back to yourself with precision, maturity, and grounded emotional responsibility. Many people return to noise because silence demands accountability. It removes excuses and fantasies. You cannot blame confusion anymore. You must face a choice. Stoic silence is courageous because it refuses comfort through illusion. It invites growth through truth, even when that truth means letting go of people and attachments outgrew. With time, silence trains discernment. You learn which connections respect distance and which collapse without access. This knowledge protects you. It stops you from returning to situations that drain you. Silence does not isolate you. It filters. It removes those who need constant access and reveals those who honor boundaries. When you finally listen to yourself, something stabilizes. You stop chasing clarity from outside. Silence becomes home. It is where you stand without defense, without explanation, without fear. This is the quiet strength Stoics protect. From here, your choices become clean, your presence solid, and your life unmistakably your own. Part 3. Begging for closure. Is self-betrayal. There is a specific pain that comes from unanswered questions. When someone leaves without explanation, the mind searches desperately for meaning. You replay moments, analyze words, and wonder what you did wrong. In that vulnerable state, asking for closure feels like survival. But Stoic wisdom exposes a harsher truth beneath that urge. Begging for closure is not about understanding. It is about relief. It is an attempt to escape uncertainty by handing your emotional authority to someone who already chose distance. When you ask them to explain, you place your peace in their hands, and that is where self-betrayal begins quietly. The Stoics warned against this dependence. Epictetus taught that freedom comes from governing what belongs to you and releasing what does not. Another person's reasons, feelings, or silence do not belong to you. The moment you demand answers, you cross the boundary between self-respect and emotional submission. Notice the pattern. Someone disrespects you. You feel destabilized. Instead of stepping back, you lean forward. You ask why. You ask what changed. You ask what you can do differently. Each question sounds reasonable, yet each one shrinks you slightly. You are no longer standing in dignity. You are pleading for emotional permission. Closure sought from the wrong source always wounds twice. First, through their original action. Second, through your own abandonment of boundaries. Even if they respond, the answer rarely heals. It often confuses more, reopens hope, or shifts blame. The relief is temporary. The cost is lasting. Stoic silence cuts this cycle. It accepts that clarity does not require consensus. You do not need someone to agree that you are hurt in order to move on. You do not need their words to validate your experience. Your perception, grounded in reason, is enough to act. A powerful exercise reveals this truth. Write the message you want to send. Say everything, ask every question, explain every feeling, then do not send it. Instead, read it slowly and notice what you are really asking for. It is rarely information. It is reassurance, dignity, and peace. Then choose to give those things to yourself. Do one act of self-loyalty immediately. Go for a walk. Train your body. Clean your space. Redirect your energy into something that strengthens you. This is not avoidance. It is a reorientation towards self-governance. Silence after disrespect is not weakness. It is discernment. If someone respects you, dialogue happens naturally. If they avoid responsibility, silence becomes the answer. No explanation required. No further damage allowed. When you stop asking for closure, something settles inside. You realize you were never powerless. You were simply hoping someone else would carry your emotional weight. Stoicism teaches you to carry it yourself with steadiness and restraint. From that place, dignity returns. And with dignity comes freedom, clarity, and peace. This choice marks the moment you stop negotiating your worth and begin living from unshakable inner authority, without apology, fear, or regret. Part 4. Silence reveals. Patterns, not promises. Silence is powerful because it removes confusion. When you stop reacting, explaining, or reaching out, you stop interfering with reality. What remains is behavior. And behavior, unlike words, does not lie for long. Stoicism teaches the truth is revealed through consistency, not intention. Promises are easy to make when emotions are high. Apologies flow when access is threatened. Explanations appear when consequences arrive. But patterns require effort. They demand time, discipline, and character. This is why Stoics trust what people do repeatedly, not what they say once. When you choose silence, something subtle but important happens. You step out of the emotional exchange. You are no longer soothing, correcting, or stabilizing the situation. Without your energy holding the dynamic together, the other person is free to act naturally. And in that freedom, their true priorities surface. Some people respond with respect. They check in calmly. They adjust their behavior without being asked. Others react with frustration, guilt, or pressure. And some disappear completely. None of these responses need interpretation. Each one is information. Silence allows you to receive it clearly. This is why silence feels uncomfortable at first. It removes hope built on words. It forces you to see what is. not what you wish were true. Stoicism does not promise comfort. It promises clarity. And clarity is what protects you from repeating the same emotional mistakes. Silence also restores trust in your own perception. When you are constantly talking, you override your intuition. You rationalize red flags. You accept explanations that don't align with actions. When you step back, your mind becomes quieter and more accurate. You start noticing patterns you once ignored. A simple practice strengthens this skill. For 7 days, reduce reactions to the minimum. Do not confront, do not clarify, do not chase reassurance. Observe instead. Write down what people do, not how you feel about it. Over time, the truth organizes itself without effort. This practice changes how you move through relationships. You stop asking, "What do they mean?" and start asking, "What do they consistently show?" That shift alone saves years of emotional confusion and self-betrayal. Silence is not indifference. It is discernment. It allows you to choose connections based on reality rather than hope. Those who value you remain steady without constant access. Those who relied on your emotional availability reveal themselves quickly. When you learn to trust patterns, you stop chasing promises. You no longer need reassurance to feel secure. You stand grounded, allowing actions to speak first. This grounded presence changes everything. It brings calm, confidence, and emotional clarity. In the end, silence does not distance you from the truth. It brings you closer. It strips away illusions and leaves only what is real. And what is real is always enough to guide your next step forward. Part 5. Not explaining is the highest form of confidence. Many people believe confidence comes from being understood. They think respect is earned by clarifying intentions, defending choices, and correcting misunderstandings. Yet Stoic wisdom reveals the opposite. The need to explain is often rooted in insecurity, not strength. True confidence does not ask for permission to exist. When you explain yourself repeatedly, you place others in a position of judgment. You invite them to evaluate your reasons, weigh your motives, and decide if you are justified. This silently lowers your status. You are no longer acting from inner authority, but responding to an external court of approval. Stoicism teaches alignment over approval. Marcus Aurelius warned against wasting energy, imagining what others think. When your actions align with your values, explanation becomes unnecessary. You do not need to narrate your decisions when your character speaks consistently for you. The fear of being misunderstood drives endless clarification, but misunderstanding is not always a problem. Sometimes it is the cost of integrity. When you choose your values over popularity, confusion is inevitable. A Stoic accepts this without resentment because clarity with oneself matters more than agreement with others. Silence in the face of misunderstanding is powerful. It signals that you trust your judgment more than public opinion. It communicates emotional independence without hostility. You're not hiding. You're standing firm without needing validation. This choice often feels uncomfortable at first. You may be labeled distant, cold, or changed. These labels test your resolve. Stoic confidence is proven here, not when you are praised, but when you remain steady under misinterpretation. Not explaining filters relationships quickly. Those who require constant justification reveal their need for control. Those who respect boundaries remain. Silence does the work of selection without conflict or drama. It preserves energy and clarifies social truth. Practice this by answering less, not more. When questioned about choices that align with your values, respond simply or not at all. Resist the urge to over-explain. Observe how your nervous system settles when you stop performing for acceptance. As you practice, confidence becomes embodied. Your posture changes. Your reactions slow. You feel less urgency to correct perceptions. This calm is noticeable. People sense when someone is grounded in self-trust. Eventually, you realize something profound. You are never obligated to explain your peace. Your life is not a debate. Stoic silence protects the quiet certainty that grows when you live in alignment. This is the highest form of confidence. Not arrogance, not dominance, but unshaken self-respect. When you stop explaining, you stop asking to be allowed. You simply are, and that presence speaks louder than any justification ever could. Confidence deepens each time you resist explaining. Each moment of restraint strengthens inner authority. Over time, silence becomes natural rather than forced. You stop proving, start living, and allow results to speak. This shift marks emotional adulthood, where self-respect guides action and peace no longer depends on being understood by yourself. Part 6. Detachment in silence. Is the lesson they remember. There is a moment when words no longer teach and explanations no longer land. What remains is behavior, and the most powerful behavior of all is quiet detachment. When you step back without anger, drama, or final speeches, you leave behind a lesson that echoes longer than confrontation ever could. Most people expect noise when conflict ends. They expect arguments, emotional reactions, or last messages filled with meaning. When none arrive, the mind struggles. Silence disrupts expectations. Detachment without explanation forces others to sit with their own actions, without your voice cushioning the impact. Stoic detachment is not punishment. It is clear. You are not trying to hurt or provoke. You are simply withdrawing access. This withdrawal communicates something words never can. I choose peace over chaos. That choice is felt, even if it is never acknowledged aloud. When you detach silently, you deny others the reaction they unconsciously seek. Many conflicts survive because energy keeps circulating. Silence cuts that circuit cleanly. No reaction, no justification, no return. What remains is reality, unfiltered. This kind of silence is difficult because it asks you to release the need to be remembered fondly or understood correctly. It asks you to let go of controlling the narrative. Stoicism teaches that dignity does not require explanation. It requires consistency with your values, even when misunderstood. The discipline of detachment protects your nervous system. You stop reopening wounds by revisiting conversations. You stop checking for signs of regret or validation. Each day of silence strengthens emotional independence and restores self-command. Often, detachment becomes the moment others reflect most deeply. Without your presence, patterns become obvious. Some people learn, some repeat behavior elsewhere. Either way, the lesson is complete without your involvement. You are no longer responsible for outcomes beyond your control. Practice detachment through 3 principles. No reaction, no justification, no checking back. These are not rules of avoidance, but commitments to self-respect. Each one removes you further from emotional entanglement and closer to inner stability. At first, silence feels heavy. You may worry about being forgotten or replaced. Over time, that fear dissolves. You realize peace is not fragile. It grows stronger the less you negotiate it. Detachment reveals that your value was never dependent on proximity. What people remember is not what you said, but how you left. Calm, grounded, without hostility, without collapse. That memory lingers longer than words ever could. Stoic silence leaves a mark because it reflects mastery. It shows restraint, discernment, and self-ownership. You did not fight for control. You reclaimed it. And in doing so, you taught the most important lesson of all. Access to you is earned, and peace is not up for debate. Part 7. The 7-day Stoic Silence Ritual. This ritual is not about disappearing from the world. It is about returning to yourself with discipline, clarity, and restraint. For 7 days, you will practice silence not as avoidance, but as deliberate inner training. Each day removes another layer of emotional dependency and restores self-command. Day 1 begins with awareness. Notice every moment you feel the urge to explain, justify, or chase. Do not judge it. Simply observe it. Write each impulse down. Awareness weakens habits by exposing them to conscious attention. Day 2 is about boundaries. Prepare short, calm responses for necessary interactions. No stories, no emotional explanations. A simple sentence is enough. This teaches you that clarity does not require detail. Day 3 is 24 hours of no reaction. No responding to provocation, praise, or silence. Let emotions rise and fall without expression. You will feel discomfort. Stay with it. This is where strength forms. Day 4 focuses on observation. Watch how people behave when your reactions stop. Who respects space, who pushes, who disappears. Record actions only, not interpretations. Patterns reveal themselves when you stop interfering. Day 5 is the closure letter. Write everything you wish you could say. Be honest, be raw, then do not send it. This letter is for release, not response. You reclaim your voice without surrendering control. Day 6 is energy recall. Mute, unfollow, or step away from sources that trigger emotional urgency. Redirect that energy into movement, order, and structure. Clean your space. Train your body. Silence becomes embodied. Day 7 is the value oath. Write one sentence that defines how you will protect your peace moving forward. Read it aloud. Commit to it quietly. This is your new standard. Throughout these 7 days, you will feel withdrawal. This is not a loss, it is detachment from dependency. Silence will sharpen your awareness, slow your reactions, and steady your emotions. You will begin to feel grounded again. By the end, something shifts. You no longer need to prove, explain, or chase. Your presence feels solid. Your boundaries feel natural. Silence stops feeling empty and starts feeling powerful. This ritual is not a performance. It is a return to self-governance. Practice it whenever life pulls you into noise. Silence, used with discipline, becomes a lifelong superpower. It will test your patience and expose hidden attachments you avoided before. Each quiet moment rebuilds inner trust and strengthens emotional muscles long neglected. When the ritual ends, keep its essence alive daily. Pause before reacting. Choose stillness over impulse. Let silence guard your energy, guide your choices, and remind you who you are becoming. This is not temporary discipline. It is a way of living that honors dignity, clarity, and peace above momentary relief or validation. Return to this ritual whenever chaos tempts you to abandon yourself again. It will always bring you back to strength, restraint, and quiet confidence. Silence practiced this way becomes armor for the soul. Nothing external can take it away. You've just learned why Stoics never chase, never beg, and never explain. You've seen how silence shifts power, reveals truth, restores dignity, and protects your inner world. Silence is not avoidance. It is discipline. It is self-respect in its purest form. When you stop explaining, you stop leaking energy. When you stop chasing, you reclaim your center. And when you stop begging for understanding, you finally hear your own voice clearly. This philosophy is not meant to be admired. It is meant to be practiced. Take the 7-day Stoic silence ritual seriously. Pause before reacting. Observe patterns instead of promises. Choose restraint over impulse. Each small moment of silence strengthens your inner authority. Remember, the goal is not to punish others or disappear from life. The goal is to stand so firmly in yourself that chaos no longer pulls you off balance. If this message resonated with you, let it mark a turning point. A moment where you choose peace over noise, dignity over explanation, and self-command over validation. Thank you for spending this time with me and committing to your growth. If you're walking the Stoic path, you're not alone. Subscribe for more Stoic teachings, reflections, and practical discipline for modern life. Until next time, protect your silence, guard your peace, and remember, your silence is your superpower.